Welcome to DSCJ Teleclasses, a digital initiative by Directorate of School Education, Jammu. Dear students, I am Mohindra Goswami. Today I am going to discuss with you a very beautiful topic, that is the Saint of the Gutters. We will discuss this topic for class 9th from Tulip series. Let's begin this beautiful topic. At the end of this lesson, students will be able to know about the author of the story. They will be able to know the new words in the story. They will be able to understand and comprehend the text of the story. They will be able to understand the saintly life of the people. Along with this, they will be able to develop all the skill, that is SLRW, and able to apply this new learning in their real life. Moreover, students will get the moral lessons from this story. Saint of the Gutters for class 9th is our today's topic. Let's begin this beautiful topic, and it is third lesson. Dear students, as you know, this personality needs no introduction. She was born on 26 August 1910 and died in 5 September 1997. Let's begin this beautiful journey of this great personality with a discussion about the writer. Dear students, you know this beautiful story is written by Professor Nirja Mattu. Let's begin this beautiful journey with a text from the book. One of the greatest figures of the 20th century is a woman known all over the world as Mother Teresa. She did not hold any powerful position in politics or government, yet she ruled over the hearts and minds of countless number of people in almost every country. Dear students, she is such a great personality of 20th century who needs no introduction. She is known all over the world as Mother Teresa, and she is loved and liked by countless number of peoples. Countless number of people means the people whom we can't count. These people liked her, and she also liked people, loved people, and died for the people. She is such a great personality. She was awarded the highest honors by a grateful world, including the Nobel Peace Prize. Dear students, she was awarded a number of award was given to her, but she was also given a Nobel Peace Prize, which was given in the name of Alfred Nobel. And she worked for the society. She worked for the poor people. She lived with them and died with them. She's a great personality. Dear students, she had no material possessions of her own, as she had dedicated herself to a life of poverty and a humble submission to God. Yet the rich, the famous, and powerful flocked to her to become a part of her mission and to give a real meaning to their lives. Dear students, she is such a lady, she is such a woman who dedicated herself to a life of poverty and humble submission. She didn't gain any material possessions, but yet the people, rich, famous, always flocked to her to become a part of her mission. She is a great personality. You know, she didn't run behind the material things. But now the question rises in the mind, how did she acquire this stature? This is the biggest questions, that how she has acquired such a status, and countless number of people liked her, and she lived in the hearts and minds of the countless number of people. Let us trace the journey of saint of our times in order to find an answer to this question. Let us now find the answer of this question, that how did she acquire such a height in her life, what she did that is exceptional to the world, and this world is always remain grateful to her whatever she has given us. So let's find out the answer to this beautiful question. On 26 August 1910, a girl child was born in Skopje, a city which was a part of Albania at the time but later became a part of Yugoslavia. And this is the day on 26 August 1910 a girl child was born, and she you know she was born in a city of Skopje, a city which was a part of Albania at that time, but later this became the part of Yugoslavia. And this beautiful city was become a witness of such a great personality who is renowned all over the world with his work and dedications and a life which she has totally given to the poor people. She was named Agnes Gonexa Bojaxiu was the real name of Mother Teresa. Later she was known by the name Mother Teresa. And this kind of personality was, I don't think that ever in this world born. Her father was a successful businessman and died when she was 8. She loved her father a lot. She cared her and she liked to share her intimate feelings with his father. But suddenly when her father died at the, and she was only at that time was of the 8 years, and her father was a successful businessman. Dear students, now the main problem was that the whole responsibility of the family was looked after by the mother, Drena, whose skill at stitching and needful craft provided her with livelihood. Whatever she has learned from her mother always helped her in providing his life livelihood for the life. The family raised in a Catholic tradition. Whatever the cultures, whatever the things she learned, the family, it is learned from the Catholic tradition right from her childhood. Agnes would love to spend time in a church, decorating it with flowers, hanging flags and banners for festival, and singing in the choir. She was such kind of personality who has great attractions for church, and she always liked to decorate it with flowers and sing songs and during the festivals. She was keen listener to the stories of Christian missionaries. Whenever there was some function, some any programs like drama plays, so she always liked to listen the stories of the Christian missionaries going through the different parts of the world to educate and serve the poor, illiterate, and sick. Their life of dedication fascinated her. She was greatly influenced by the great personalities of Christian missionaries who go to different parts of the world. These activities alone, however, would not make out as an exception. It was when she was 15 that something happened that charted an entirely different course of her. Whatever she did in her life from early childhood doesn't make her exception. There are something which totally changed her life and charted a whole course of her life when she was at the age of 15. And this 15 years child has changed her whole entire life. Let's find out how he changed her course. She was on a trip to the mountains when suddenly she had a feeling that someone calling out her, saying, "Follow God and serve others." When something happened which is very strange to her life, she was on a trip to mountain when suddenly she listened a voice, inner voice, saying, "Follow God and serve others." This is such kind of voice which has changed her whole life. In our Eastern mystic traditions too, it is believed that inner voice calls out a person if God has some special talks cut for him or her. So this experience should not come as a surprise. In Eastern mystic tradition, it was said that it is the inner voice which changed the person's whole course of life. About this time, Agnes had also heard that somewhere out there is a place called India, and had already made up her mind to become a missionary. She now decided to leave home, become a nun, lead a life of poverty and chastity, and serve the people. She has now decided that she wants to leave this world and go to India and serve the people there. She had also resolved that she would go to Kolkata in India to serve the poorest of the poor. That was to be the mission of her life. As a preparation of her real mission, she went to Ireland and joined the convent of Sister of Loreto in order to learn English before she went to Bengal. Now she had made her mind that she would go to Kolkata, but before going, she wants to join the Sisters of Loreto because she wanted to learn something so that she can help the people in India. She want to learn the English there. Agnes arrived in Kolkata in 1929 and was sent by her order to Darjeeling in West Bengal to begin novitiate, that is the period of study and prayer, which every nun must undergo before finally becomes. So she went to Darjeeling in West Bengal to learn uh, the period that every nun has to learn. In Darjeeling, she learns many things regarding teaching and every aspect of life. This is such kind of period which every nun must undergo before she finally becomes a nun at the convent. This was the condition before every nun to become a part of this. Apart from prayer, she spent her time in learning Hindi and Bengali so that she could speak to the people whom she had come to serve. Then she began to teach in schools run by the Sisters of Loreto, first at Darjeeling and then at Kolkata. Dear students, this shows her keen interest that apart from prayer, whatever she is learning in Darjeeling, apart from that, she spent her time in learning Hindi and Bengali. This shows that how much she was interested to serve the people. She all did only because she wanted to understand the people by speaking their mother tongue. Then she began to teach in school, and then she has started after learning all these languages in the school run by Sister of Loreto. Dear students, while teaching the Indian girl students from the affluent background at St. Mary School, Kolkata, Sister Teresa, now she was called. When she was teaching the students from affluent family at St. Mary School, so she was now regarded as Sister Teresa. Dear students, while teaching in the convent school, she could not keep her eyes away from the desperately poor and homeless who lived on the streets of the city, in slums. The condition in which they existed were appalling unhygienic. Actually, what happened whenever she was there in the school teaching the students, so she saw the people outside in the streets, living in the slums with the very unhygienic conditions. So she could not stop her thinking about those peoples, and this kind of scene view has changed her course of life, and she was greatly depressed by these people, and she was just thinking about these people, that how they are spending their life, and such kind of things could not resist her to go toward the people, and she has now decided to change her course of life entirely, and whatever she did thereafter. One day in 1946, when she was traveling in a train from Kolkata to Darjeeling, she again heard a voice like the one she had heard before, telling her that now she must leave the convent and help the poor by living with them. Dear students, this is one kind of inner voice that always she heard, and now when she was traveling from Kolkata to Darjeeling, again she heard the same voice like the one she had heard before, and this was some kind of a totally a new kind of experiences, and she thought that she must had to leave the convent and help the poor people by living with them, and this is some kind of a unique kind of experience happened to her, and this has changed her totally in the later life. Now she felt that it was an order which she could not disobey, and to quote her words, to fail would be a break faith, and this was the final turning that gave birth to Mother Teresa. We all know that. You know what happened thereafter when she thought that this was the order by the God, and if he break and if he disobey the order, to naturally he she would break the faith in God, and this was the final turning. This is a turning point in her life that totally changed her life, and she became now Mother Teresa. She asked her church order to give her permission to leave the convent and to start a new order of nuns who would help her work among the poor. She got the permission, and the order of missionaries of Charity was born in 1948 with her as its first Mother Superior. Now, when she has decided to leave the convent, she asked the church to provide, to give her permission so that she could leave the convent and work for the poor people by living with them. And she got the permission in 1948, and thereafter, she worked for the people, and now she become Mother Superior, and people used to call her as Mother Teresa, and she had changed now course of life and worked for the poor people. She always liked people, live with the people and die for the people, and this was the ultimate goal of her life. Now she gave her nun's habit and dressed in cotton blue bordered white sari, which reflected her simplicity. She wanted to look like the poor Indian women who dressed similarly with their hats covered by sari. Now she had decided to leave her habit of nuns and dressed in a cotton blue white border sari, and she reflected her simplicity. This kind of sari reflected her simplicity. She wanted to look like the poor Indian woman. Actually, she wanted to convey all the poor people that she is also one of them. She is also one of among them, and she has dressed like the poor Indian women who dress similarly with their hats covered by sari, and she behaved and totally changed her way of living, and she has leave all the nuns habit, and now she decided that she would talk to them heart to heart so that she could help them. She set up Nirmal Holiday Home and hospice for the poor, the orphans, the dying, the destitute. Actually, what happened when she was living among the poor people and she was seeing their problems and all the things, she has decided now to set up a home for all those people who are orphans, who are poor and cannot afford anything, and for the dying. And she set up this charity as which is known Missionary of Charity Nirmal Holiday, which was established in 1952, and this house was mainly for the sick and the dying and destitutes, and that helped people a lot. And she did a lot of work in this regard. Whatever she did in her life, that was totally inspiring to the world. We learned many things from her life, that how to work for the poor people, for the destitutes, for the dying people by living among them. And for this she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979. And this was a unique kind of prize which was given in the name of Albert Nobel, and I don't think that any persons could compensate her place, and she was always remained in our heart, in our mind. Now began her great legendary work of selfless charity and care to the poor. In 1970, Malcolm Muggeridge, a well-known British writer, came to Kolkata. While walking through a street, he happened to see a small little figure in a slum cleaning the sores on the body of a half-dead man without slightest trace of disgust. When he was walking through the streets of Kolkata, he saw that a small figure as a Mother Teresa was cleaning the sores on the half-dead man, but without slightest trace or disgust. So he was got surprised that how a person can do such a revealing task, and this was unique kind of experience to him. He could not believe that a human being could look so happy while doing such a revealing task. The deep, warm glow of peace and love on her face made a deep impression on his mind that he wanted the whole world to know about the saintly persons and her extraordinary work. When he saw that she was doing such a unique kind of work that nobody could even think to do, he decided that the world should know about her, this saintly person and her extraordinary work. The result was that his book and documentary film on Mother Teresa, appropriately titled Something Beautiful for God, which brought world attention to her work, otherwise quiet work. Thereafter, when he saw Mother Teresa was doing such a tremendous work, he wrote a book on her life and also made a documentary film on Mother Teresa, and that brought the whole world attention to her. Otherwise, her work always remained a silent work without knowing the world. Before her death in 1997, she oversaw the opening of branches of her missionaries of charity in a number of countries to continue her work among the poorest of the poor. The work she started now become a mission to the whole world. And before her death in 1997, she oversaw the opening of branches of her missionaries, not only India but throughout the whole world, to continue her work among the poorest of the poor people. That was a unique mission of the world. Mother Teresa used to say that one must give love till it hurts. She was truly a saint who brought comfort to the destitute, gave care to those who had no one to care for them, and made the most insignificant, unwanted feel that God, through the agency of Mother Teresa, remembered them. She was a unique kind of personality who worked for the destitute people, cared for those who had no one to care, and she gave this world a lot of inspirations. She always used to say that one must give love till it hurts. She was really a true saint who brought comfort to the destitute, and this world remained always grateful to her for her dedications and for her work and inspiration to the world. We are very thankful for such a personality who cared the people, who worked for the poor people, and just started a mission that become the mission of the world now. This world and we people always remain thankful to her for such a brilliant and fantastic work that created and opened the eyes of the world. With this, we have completed this beautiful story. Now, let us discuss some new words from the story. The first one is fluk, which we have come through the story, and dear students, it means to move together in a large numbers. And there is also a new verse in the story, that is stature. It means the reputation a person or organization has. You can also say a status. Stature means a status that is new to you all. So now students, you can write a lot of sentences on these words. And there is two more words, that is chastity. You have also seen this word while going through this video. It means a purity. And another word, that is affluent, and used in this story in one of the paragraph. So affluent means a rich. So now students, you must go through this story in your textbook and also make a just find out the new words and pen down all these words in your diary so that you can use them in your daily life to become a part of this English language. Now, thinking about the text, I have just given you an assignment to go through your test and now answer the following questions while reading the whole text and understanding what is there in the text. And now question number number one, what activities made Mother Teresa so exceptional? What are there in this story that created the Mother Teresa's life a totally unique and exceptional? So you have to answer this question. Then there is another question: why did Mother Teresa leave Saint Mary School? Why while teaching in Kolkata she leave the school, and why? What are the things that made her to leave the school? There is another question: what did Mother Teresa mean to fail would be a break faith? So there is also in one of the paragraph we have used this thing, so you have to answer. What kind of life did Mother Teresa lead? You have to answer this question also. Why do you think Mother Teresa learnt Bengali? That is also one of the crucial question which you need to answer. Now students, let us discuss the short answer type questions. The first question is, when was Mother Teresa born? So we have already discussed in this story that when and where she was born. You just open your textbook and find out the answer of this question. The question number second, what is the name of the city where Mother Teresa born? Do you have to answer the name of the city where this great personality was born? As far as question number third is concerned, when was she awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? So you have seen that Mother Teresa did a lot of work for humanity and for the peace of the people. So for this world has given her a Nobel Peace Prize. So you have to mention here the date of the Nobel Peace Prize. Now students, as far as question number 4 is concerned, it is, what was the original name of Mother Teresa? As you already know that the name Mother Teresa was given later on in his life, but the question arises here, what was her original name? Now students, question number 5, when was Mother Teresa assumed Teresa word in her name? So you have to find out this answer that you already know this thing that she assumed this word later in her life, and you have to mention here the date when she assumed this word. Another question is that who is the writer of the lesson Saint of the Gutters? You have to find out the answer to this question also. Now students, I am going to give two statements based on your understanding. Let us first discuss the first statement. You have to complete this one. Her father died when she was dash. You have to complete this statement by putting a suitable word in it. Now another statement is that one day in 1946 when she was traveling in a train from Dash to Darjeeling, so you have to put here the most appropriate word that suits this statement complete. Now you have to do one thing, just open your textbook, find out which word is most appropriate here. Only then you will be able to know that whether you have understand this lesson properly or not. So now students, I would like to request you answers all these questions whatever I have mentioned there, and write down in your notebooks, and along with this write down in your notebook, moreover write a short speech on Mother Teresa. That is going to be a very inspiring. Dear students, with this we have completed this beautiful topic. Hope you have enjoyed this beautiful topic. I once again request you just go through this topic and read out once again and try to find out what are the various achievements of Mother Teresa. It is very difficult to count the achievements of Mother Teresa. What she did for humanity, no one can, in their life did. In short, to conclude my today's topic, I would like to just show you some of the achievements of Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was such a personality. She dedicated her life to the serving the poor and the sick. Along with this, she established the missionary of charity. She opened the Kalighat home for dying people, and along with this, she opened Nirmala Shishu Bhavan to take care of homeless children. And moreover, she greatly helped relief efforts for people suffering with leprosy. She was awarded the highest civilian honor in India, and this is not only India but also in abroad. She helped to evacuate 37 children during the siege of Beirut. Moreover, she received number of international awards, including Nobel Peace Prize she get in 1979, and she is one of the most admired people of the 20th century. We have completed this beautiful story. Hope you have enjoyed it. Now I would like to request you just go through this story once again and read out each and everything so that you can understand it. Now with this I would like to thanks to you.